flew tiger moths, and then we had to go on to Harvard's, which was the American 86 it was. It was a single engine thing, more powerful, with a retractable undercarriage.
Much more modern aircraft.
Well, it was, yeah, it was. In fact, it was a monoplane, you know, single wing straight through, whereas the Tiger Moth was a biplane, and also weighed about half or a third.
There's a guy outside our village who flies at Harvard. Comes over the house quite a lot.
They make a terrible noise.
Oh, they do. You can always hear it coming.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, the Tiger Moth was like I was doing casualty evacuation on Tiger Moths. I suppose we better come to that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we went off to Canada.
Before we go there, I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's right.
There was a reference to ground training as well. Do you have
Oh,
a
yeah.
recollection of that?
Oh, yeah. Meteorology, theory of flight, all that sort of stuff too.
Given that you didn't feel that you were particularly academic, did you find that side of it quite tough?
Well, I just was rather determined. I worked and worked and worked, whereas the others were off chasing girls and drinking beer. I didn't, as I say, doing navigation training. The chap said, well, you've got to work at least 10 days, 10 nights a week if you've any hope of passing. But I came top because this is just pure stubborn repetition. Anyhow, the thing was, we went off to Canada. This was in the Queen Mary, which was, they had, I think, berth for 2 people. They had got about 10 or 12 in with rough timber, and I was slightly seasick at first because I gorged on chocolate and orange juice because we hadn't seen any, and so I puked up a thing, and after that I was not seasick. We landed in New York and the girls were dancing around down below. Blokes were writing little love letters to them and stuffing them into condoms, weighting them down with coins and throwing them down and saying, meet you so-and-so. But we were shepherded. Shepherded immediately with lots and lots of snowdrops. The snowdrops being our nickname for the American police, all armed with their white helmets and their batons, baseball bats, to break any shins if anyone didn't behave. So we were shepherded straight off the Queen Mary and straight onto a boat, a train, where we went up by CPR, which is Canadian Pacific Railway, up to Moncton in New Brunswick, which was another transit camp. And finally we were posted off to various EFTSs, which is Elementary Flying Training School. This was a 2-day journey across Canada because they thought they couldn't keep us all on the train for all that length of time. So I think we got first of all to Montreal and they let us off, and on pain of death, be back here 6 o'clock this evening or whatever it was. And then we went on to Winnipeg, but again let us off. Well, I met a girl, I was rather pleased. They, again on sort of pain of death, they let us off. And then I went on to Assiniboia, which was way out in the prairies, and there was no trees at all. There was miles and miles of wheat country. So it was, and yeah, where we were flying tiger moths, blizzards and things. Oh yes, they didn't clear the snow. The airstrips were just triangles, big, many acre, just in wheat country, and they have the rollers out behind a tractor, and they roll the snow, going on all just as it fell. They just rolled it flat, so you could land with as much drift on as you wanted, and seem with your brakes on, sort of thing, until the snow started to melt, and then people were winding up on their noses, as it were,